if you have been following my channel for some time now, you know that I took a tack change on my channel to talk more about political things, religious things, etc. And one of the things that helped grow the base that I do presently have on the channel was when COVID started, I started talking about medical mandates and things like that. And those videos got traction, and I thought, well, I'm very passionate about politics and religion. Why don't I start talking about that and not just health related things and rehabilitation related things? And I decided partly because I'm really trying to focus on growing my business, so to speak, my brand, if you will, in the rehab world, and go back to what originally my channel was about. But there are going to be things that I'm going to comment on related to medicine in general. And one of them is gain of function research. So you may have seen the news in the last few days. I was just looking at the New York Times article on this. You're not going to see this promoted in most mainstream news media. In fact, they're probably, if they cover the story, it's going to go away quickly. But China has developed a new 100% effective strain in terms of killing the host from COVID. That's right, 100% kill rate. They were testing humanized mice. Now, that is an ethical concern in and of itself. You may have heard a while back, and I did a video on this, talking about how the skin from newborns, aborted newborns, was transplanted onto, I think it is either mice or rats. And they were using that as a test bed to see if they could get these mice or rats to accept that. And probably the predicate for that was trying to test things on these mice or rats that would make it more likely to determine effectiveness of new therapies on human beings. And so somehow that made it more ethical. But there's problems with that. Anyway, going back to the original story, 100% kill rate on the mice infected with this new developed strain of COVID in China. That's right, China, that created the Wuhan virus, otherwise known as COVID-19, that went on to kill millions of people in the world and may in turn take millions of people who took an untested drug on human beings. Yes, that same virus is has been mutated on purpose in a laboratory. So one of the things that gain of function researchers will say is we make these things stronger so that we can fight it in the future. We make them really powerful on purpose so that we can come up with novel interventions to treat it and, in this case, more likely prevent it, because they saw the windfall of money that organizations like Pfizer and Moderna, and of course there were other companies, excuse me, in the world, in other countries that made a lot of money on the backs of that virus. They're looking for opportunities to promote new therapeutics, or maybe therapeutics too, but preventative things that they'll say, oh, look, the next big thing is coming. Take this drug, you'll be okay, and we'll on the back end make a lot of money. There's actually a recent report on, I forget what country it was, but they're talking about virus X. And apparently this has been something that's been discussed in the past, but it's popped up again. And there was some discussion about the next big virus, or what they're just calling virus X, and preparing medication protocols ahead of time to combat virus X. And now we get this report from China that they've got this massively improved, that's a bad word for it, virus that will kill at 100%. So what's a good takeaway for us? obviously, I think we could all say that gain of function research is evil. And the reason I say that is because you cannot guarantee with 100% certainty, you cannot, that said created virus won't get out of the lab in some way. There are lots of bad people in the world. In fact, if you want a little bit of insight into this, I've recently created a persona that's an environmentalist on the X platform. And there are people on there in the environmentalist world basically calling for the mass die off of people. There are people that believe that the world would be better without human beings and with no apologies and no signs that they have like a limit of what that might look like. They want to see Mother Earth return to its natural state so that it can survive. So there are bad actors that may decide that getting their hands on a 100% kill rate virus would be wonderful. Uh, there's also obviously people that would seek to weaponize such a thing, and maybe they could release it, let's say, upon a very isolated country, and just prevent any of those people getting out, and then you just have mass die off within that country, and then not have problems with spread beyond it. Although that's highly unlikely with the state of world travel today. Uh, Gain of function research is looking to create superviruses for two main purposes. One, biological weaponry, and two, making very expensive drugs so you can make boatloads of money when such and such virus comes out. And I think we can see in both instances, one is definitely more a subtle evil, and then the other is obviously a true this evil that could be foisted upon people if the biologics get in the wrong hands. So anyway, we are gearing up for the next push, obviously, for some kind of medical mandate, and China may help lead the forefront. And these scientists, some of them may have purely altruistic ideas that they're just trying to thwart um, bad repercussions from the next exposure, the next um, bad virus that gets out, this so-called virus X. But I say nothing good can come from this. Anyway, there's also some stuff going on related to mandates, and I may do a video related to that. I will get back to rehab and documentation related stuff, but this story just kind of hit me when I saw it, and you can't help but think that we're experiencing deja vu all over again. I forget who said that, so sorry I can't give proper attribution for that statement. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Take care, and God bless.